Good afternoon, and welcome to today's webinar on the release of MCH Connect. Today's presentation will be approximately 50 minutes, with 10 minutes for questions at the end of the presentation. By the end of today's presentation, you will be able to describe the goals and purpose of the Trainee Ambassador Group, referred to as the TAG, discover mentorship opportunities through the TAG's mentorship initiative called MCH Connect, and generate your MCH Connect account to share your experience with MCH peers. Before we begin our presentations, I have some brief technical guidance for you. First, I would like to call your attention to the TAG website and MCH Connect's website, which we hope you will visit after today's program. There you'll find resources on today's topic.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to be with all of you on today's webinar. Engaging trainees in our work is a priority for the Division of MCH Workforce Development. Over the past few years, we've worked to create new forums and ways for trainees to connect with us and with one another. It's our hope that we're supporting trainee connections and providing leadership opportunities at a national level for trainees. The TAG is one of those initiatives, and I'm so glad that leaders from the TAG will share more about their efforts with you today. Within the division, we want all of our current and former trainees to understand that they're part of this large network of MCH professionals across the country. And our work is geared towards supporting you through your formal graduate training and beyond. One way to do that is to support an extensive trainee network. For faculty and mentors joining us today, thank you for your participation and encouragement of trainees to take part in our trainee engagement efforts. And for the current and former trainees joining us today, I encourage you to be involved. You can engage with trainees within your academic program, across your larger grant program, and now with trainees across the United States. Remember, this is your MCH peer group, and collectively, you'll be influencing the health of our nation's mothers and children. It's now my pleasure to turn it back to Julia and to hear more from our TAG leaders.
Thank you, Lauren, for highlighting the importance of trainee engagement within the division. We're excited to have with us today two speakers from the TAG to discuss their new web-based resource to connect current and former MCH trainees and MCH professionals. Our first presenter today will be Raven Wright. Raven will give an overview of the TAG and an explanation of the purpose of MCH Connect. Our second presenter will be Shelley Johnson, who will walk you through the technical aspects of MCH Connect through a live screen share. Now I would like to turn to our first speaker, Raven.
Thank you. Again, I would like to welcome everyone who is in the audience today, including our fellow TAG ambassadors. A special thank you to Alyssa Bosa and the TAG for your contributions to today's presentation. As Julia mentioned, my name is Raven Wright, and I will be covering the first portions of today's presentation, where we will discuss the history of the TAG and introduce the purpose of MCH Connect. Shelley will follow with the website overview and the next steps. Before we get into the details of MCH Connect today, I would like to start off with a short poll to see who is on the call today and how everyone is connected to the MCH training program. Please take a look at your screen and select the option that applies to you. Poll question 1, how are you connected to the MCH training program? Okay, it looks like we have a lot of current MCH trainees on the call today. First, it's important for us to explain what the TAG is and how it fits into MCH. TAG was founded in 2015 and is supported by the MCHB Division of MCH Workforce Development, as noted by Director Ramos. The overarching goal of TAG is to foster connections between MCH trainees and MCHB. Through these connections and projects, the TAG aims to develop a current and future generation of MCH leaders. The TAG has at least one representative from each of the 8 MCHB-funded training programs. TAG ambassadors demonstrate strong organizational communication, cultural competency, and leadership skills. You can read bios for each of the 2017 TAG ambassadors on the TAG page. Each ambassador completes a 12-month commitment and contributes 2 to 4 hours of their time per month. Activities include co-facilitating monthly virtual meetings, sharing their experiences with TAG via the Time with TAG Spotlight on the MCHB website, and contributing to a collective TAG project. Applications are currently being accepted for the incoming TAG cohort. If you are interested in becoming a TAG ambassador, please visit the TAG page using the link at the bottom of this slide. The idea for MCH Connects grew out of the feedback from last year's Making Lifelong Connections conference, where the TAG held a session and gathered feedback on MCH training needs. Several trainees wanted mentorship opportunities. The prior TAG cohort came up with the idea for an online resource to connect mentees and mentors. This idea was presented at this year's Making Lifelong Connections conference for additional feedback. Based on this input from trainees, we are now launching MCH Connect. The ultimate goal of MCH professionals is to enhance the health of MCH populations. In order to achieve this goal, MCH professionals are encouraged to continually seek ways to improve their professional skills and engage in interdisciplinary learning. The mentoring initiative called MCH Connect matches current and former trainees within and across training programs. Mentoring helps guide young professionals to a career path that is the right fit for their skills and passions, and shed a light on opportunities within their fields of interest. Mentorship can also foster professional and personal growth for both mentors and mentees. Mentor-mentee relationship often spans working relationship as mentees continue on their path throughout their careers. MCH Connect is designed so that you are able to network outside of your niche. The system will help you identify mentors and mentees with common interests, and will also give you an opportunity to connect across disciplines for collaborative learning. We'll talk more about how MCH Connect can facilitate these relationships later on in this webinar. It will be up to the mentor and the mentee to schedule meetings or decide what type of commitment they would like to establish. We recommend that mentors and mentees connections continue for a year to establish a relationship, but you are welcome to stay connected beyond that time frame. You may also connect for one-time opportunities such as resume reviews or informational interviewing. Within MCH Connect, you will be asked to create a profile and select either a mentor and or a mentee role. We will go over who is eligible for each role so you'll have a better sense of where you fit in. Those eligible for the role of mentee include current MCH trainees or individuals who have completed an MCH training program. All 8 graduate education programs funded by the MCHB are eligible. If mentees are not current trainees, they are likely recent graduates of a program, just starting in their career and making a career transition. Mentors are current or former MCH trainees, MCH professionals affiliated with an MCH training program, or those with professional experiences working in an MCH-affiliated field. There is no minimum requirement, 4 years of experiences. However, you cannot select both the mentee and mentee role within the system. When you are creating your profile, you will be asked to choose between one or the other. Now that you've heard a bit about each of the roles within the MCH Connects and the eligibility requirements, we have another poll for you. Please let us know whether you think you will be better suited to participate as a mentee or a mentor. Your answer to this question will help us guide through the rest of the webinar session. Which MCH connection role better fits you, mentee or mentor? Okay. It looks like we have a lot of people interested in the mentee role on the call. So we will think about that as we take the next step through the MCH connection. I will now hand off the session back to our moderator, Julia, as she will introduce Shelley.
Thank you so much. As a reminder, if you have a question for our speakers, you can submit it online at any time using the form on the left-hand side of your screen. The next segment of this presentation will be a live demonstration of the MCH Connect website. If you would like to view the demonstration in full screen mode, once again, hover your mouse near the top of the slide viewer and click on the square to access full screen mode. Next, I'd like to turn to our next speaker, Shelley.
Thank you, Julia. We will now take a quick minute to transition over to screen share. Wonderful. So now we're going to take a tour of the MCH Connect website. To enter the MCH Connect website, you must first enter the access code lowercase EV123. Today, I have already entered the code and am viewing the main page for MCH Connect. Once on the screen, you will then be taken to the main page that includes the goals of the MCH project and the privacy notice, which is listed here at the bottom. The information presented by Raven today, along with additional details, can be found in the About tab listed at the top and the Mentoring Overview tab. We will first review the Connect page to experience the Mentor-Mentee directory. The Connect page provides the technical information for creating a mentor-mentee account. You can also access the Directories menu located on the right panel. So below, you'll see the information that's very technical and lists how you can join and register. We will actually go through that process today. Let's start by taking a quick look at the information required for registration. The registration page includes basic information such as your name, first and last, as well as contact information and information related to your MCH experience. Of note, your phone number will remain private and your email is only accessible to approved mentors or mentees. During registration, you will select if you would like to be a mentor or mentee. That option is listed here under Account Type. Note that you can only choose to be a mentor or a mentee. It is not possible to be both. You will then select which training program you were a part of and the institution where you completed your training experience, as well as your training program role and the years you were involved in that training program. Some of these options, including the training program, include other options. Note that we do need as many details as possible here to ensure accuracy, because this is the information that is used to determine if you will be approved to join the MCH Connect forum. Lastly, you will enter a username and a unique password. Once you have entered the information, you will select Register. MCH Connect will review your registration and approve this manually, so please allow several days for confirmation. Since I am already registered, we will go ahead and move to the login page to review the directory. One quick note, I am currently registered as a mentee. It looks like we had several participants today who were interested in that role as well. However, there were others who were interested in the mentor role. Note that these are very similar for the login piece as well as the directories. I will try to point out those pieces that are slightly different. Once you've logged on, you will be taken directly to your profile page. The information listed here is visible to mentors or mentees who are interested in connecting with you. To edit this information, you will select the gear here at the right corner. I will first scroll down so that you can see this information. Here you'll see the basic information, including your account type, as well as your education, current contact information, and a short biography. For your profile, you will have the opportunity to enter background information about yourself, including your education, here listed at the top, as well as your contact information, again, a short biography, and at the bottom, you will also be able to list areas of interest with many options, and your area of discipline. So I am a registered dietitian that works in a WIC clinic, so I selected nutrition and dietetics and pediatrics. The profile page also includes technical information for those seeking to connect with you, including your availability as a mentor or mentee, your preference for frequency of meetings, and the location of those meetings. You'll notice here for current availability that you can choose available or occupied. This is important. If you are unavailable for a short period of time, it's best to go ahead and mark occupied so that other mentees or mentors know that at this time you're unavailable. For meeting locations, you have the option to choose virtual, in-person, or mixed meetings, meaning both in-person and virtual. And here, again, Raven had mentioned, it is encouraged to continue a relationship, mentor-mentee relationship for a year. But if you would like more of a short-term mentor-mentee relationship, such as a resume review, you can always select this one-time option for meeting frequency. Now that your profile is complete, once complete, please save the information by selecting the check mark here at the top right corner. Now that we have our profile completed, we will walk through searching the mentor-mentee directory. We will go back here to the Connect tab. Now that we're logged in, you will see for the directories menu over on the right-hand side, we have a directory for mentors and a directory for mentees. Today we'll look at the mentors directory. To find a mentor or mentee, you will use the search tools at the top for particular characteristics. If you would prefer to browse through the directory, you can also scroll through the directory at the bottom of the screen. And it looks like we've had some new participants. How exciting! Today, we will use an example of searching by an area of interest. I will first scroll to the Areas of Interest tab and choose a topic. Today, we're going to choose advocacy. I will then select Search to find mentors who have a similar interest. Great. It looks like our fellow TAG member, Michelle, is interested in advocacy. To learn more about Michelle, we will select her profile. Once you've accessed the mentor or mentee's page, you can review their bio, including, again, their current information as well as their background in education. So it looks like Michelle is currently at the Minnesota Department of Health. You will notice that she has included her LinkedIn profile here so that I can take a more look at her LinkedIn profile as well. Michelle has a quick bio and more areas of interest. At the top, we notice that Michelle is available to be a mentor. She's looking for options including a mixed meeting location, and she is also interested in meeting on a monthly basis. If I wanted to connect with Michelle, I could choose to send her an email listed directly here in the contact information. Or, as I mentioned before, we could also learn more about her by connecting through the LinkedIn profile. From the directory, we can return to the main page or access the tabs listed across the top. You will notice that the main page also includes a frequently asked questions page, a resources page regarding mentor-mentee relationships, and at the bottom, a hyperlink for LinkedIn, which includes an MCH training group. We don't have enough time to cover each of these pages today, but we hope that you will return to the MCH Connect website to review these in your own time. Lastly, if you have any technical issues related to the MCH Connect webpage or login, please scroll to the top and you can visit the Connect tab. As you can see listed across the top, if you have any feedback related to the website and questions regarding eligibility, please contact TAG by emailing the mch.mentoring@gmail.com account. Of note, this is particularly related to feedback or questions about eligibility. If you have any technical questions, please complete the contact form listed below and press send. If we could go back to the slides, please. Thank you. Now that we have learned about the basis for MCH Connects and taken a tour of the website, we want to briefly discuss what we, the TAG, have been doing to further support MCH Connects. Our goal is to continue promoting MCH Connects with MCH training programs and our peers. A TAG ambassador will also be the MCH Connects liaison who manages eligibility questions and feedback from the website. MCH Connects is a collaborative effort. If you are excited for the opportunity to connect with other MCH professionals, please share your excitement with fellow MCH peers. If you have not done so already, head to the MCH Connects website. Register to join the directory and start connecting. Lastly, if today's presentation and the tag excite you, consider applying to become an ambassador for the next tag cohort. As Raven mentioned, applications are located on the tag website and are being accepted until October 15th. Thank you. I will now hand the presentation back over to our moderator, Julia.
Thank you, Shelley, and thank you again to everyone who has presented today. It's been a very engaging program. Shelley and Raven are now available to take questions regarding MCH Connects. Questions regarding the TAG and other MCHB-funded training programs or training engagement initiatives can also be entered into the chat box, but MCHB staff will follow up with you after the presentation regarding the responses to those questions. As mentioned by Shelley as well, for technical questions regarding the MCH Connects directory, please submit those via the contact page on MCH Connect. As I mentioned at the beginning, we'll be taking questions both online and on the telephone. To post a question online, simply enter the question in the field at the bottom of the questions box and hit enter. To ask a question on the phone, just press *1 to indicate that you have a question. The operator will let us know that there are questions in the queue and indicate to you when to ask your question. While folks on the phone are joining the queue, I'll start with a few of the online questions that came in. And so, Shelley, I think this is one for you. Could you just reconfirm what the website entry code is?
Absolutely. So that is EASY123. That's lowercase e, a, s, y, and then the number 123.
Great. And then Raven, maybe this one is for you. Could you please go over whether it's possible to be both a mentor and a mentee at the same time?
Unfortunately, it is not possible to be registered as a mentee and a mentor. You will have to see which area fits best for you. I know there's like questions, like frequently asked questions, a list of like if you're eligible for to be a mentee or a mentor, but you cannot be both.
Great, thank you. We have one question coming in. Apart from filling out the online form, is there any additional information like a CV or resume that you need to submit to process the application to be a mentor?
Julia, I'm happy to answer that one. So I would say it depends. Most of the time, the information that you provide, especially if you've been a part of an MCH training program, then the information you provide, if it matches with what MCH has to confirm, then that should be adequate and you should receive an email confirmation. If there are any questions that they may have, they will follow up with you via email to request any additional information.
Great, thanks, Shelley. Also, another just reconfirming here, what website do they go to sign up to become a mentee or a mentor?
Yes, let me take a quick look at the URL. I sometimes forget the actual, let's see here. It is mchtraining.net//mentors.
Great. I guess this question is for either of you. Are there any promotional materials such as flyers or email templates that can be used to disseminate this information to trainees and former trainees?
Hi, it's Shelley again. So, Julia, you may be able to actually help me with this one. I know that we do have some promotional flyers. If you are interested in receiving those flyers, I think the best thing that we could do is to actually go to the Connect tab on the MCH Connect website and send a quick request over to the tag email address that you see listed there. We also will have that contact information at the end of today's session, so that could also be another way to reach out to us. Great question, though.
Great, yeah, that's a great idea about emailing. Yeah, we do. The tag did develop a few promotional flyers that can be sent around. Also, I do have a little bit of a clarification or a helpful tip about folks that really want to be both a mentor and a mentee. You could get around this by signing up with 2 separate email addresses, but it would really only be useful or beneficial if these are email addresses that you are regularly checking and responding to make sure that no mentor or mentee requests are sort of left behind. But that is one option to sort of get around the technical challenge of having 2 different accounts. Another sort of somewhat technical question, but I think it would be useful for everyone to hear. Does the system work better on a particular browser over others? We have been testing this over the last several weeks to sort of work out the kinks so that it does work on different browsers and is responsive on different devices, smartphones, tablets, etc. But of course, if you are having any challenges in this area with a particular browser, then that would be an instance where you could go onto that contact page and submit a technical request to help troubleshoot some of those issues. Also a question here about MCH training that was completed in the United Kingdom and whether or not they would be eligible. So as what was mentioned earlier about when you set up a profile, and each profile is reviewed by MCHB, and in some cases they do request additional information from you to determine eligibility. So that would be one of those cases where you would want to submit the information on the registration form, and then somebody at MCHB would get back to you about that. Did we have any phone questions coming through?
No questions over the audio portion.
Thank you. Okay, and then we had one other question here that hasn't been answered yet. It's from a person who is already involved in a variety of LEND activities, and they're wondering if by signing up through MCH Connect, additional things will be added to their daily schedule. Raven or Shelley, could you respond to that?
Hi there.
Could you repeat the question? Oh, go ahead. If you understood it, I guess I could.
Yeah, I think I've figured it out. So that piece is actually really a good point for those who are current trainees. So this is actually something on your own time, and the quick answer is no. So your schedule with LEND will still be determined by you and your advisors, and then for the MCH Connect piece, that is actually you and your mentor or mentee get to determine how frequently you would like to meet, and so you get to set that schedule piece. Great question.
Okay, I don't have any other questions coming in through the online portion. If there are any final questions, you may add them into the online system or press *1 on your phone to indicate that you have a question at this time. No? Okay. Well, again, thank you all so much for joining us today, and again to our presenters. The archive of this webinar will be available on the MCH Connect website in the next few weeks so that you can access it at your convenience. And finally, before you log out, we would greatly appreciate you taking a moment to provide us with feedback on today's program. It's really important that we have your input on this session as well as your recommendations. So to fill out the short survey, the very short survey, simply click on the evaluation link on the screen now, and the survey will open in a new window. So today's program is now complete. Thank you for joining us and have a great afternoon.